Listen, I want to first thank you for participating and congratulate you, because how many people do you know who talk a good game about how they want to take their business to the next level, how they want to succeed, how they want to turn their dreams into reality, but how many actually ever do anything to figure out how to get there? Most people get into business and they have a vision, they have excitement, they have a passion. They get into it, they start doing things, they succeed for a while, and then within a short period of time, they run into challenges, and what do? More of what doesn't work. Or the economy changes. You started in one economy and you got this great technological advantage, or you're first in the marketplace, or you just have great people, but then the market changes and people don't adapt. What I really want to do is entice you and give you an overview of what this is about, how it works, and how you can maximize the results. So you don't just watch one DVD, but you get the full sense of the comprehensive, absolute turnkey business mastery program that's in front of you. Something that can take your business to another level and take your life to that as well. And I want to tell you, you've begun a journey that you will not forget as long as you live. That's a really big claim, but it's true. And I'll tell you how I know. Because I've had the privilege of working with literally hundreds of thousands of business leaders from all over the world and millions of people. 3.5 million people I've worked with over 30 years from more than 100 countries. And I've helped them to turn things around. My job is create peak performance. I get paid for results. And I got to be able to turn things around when they seem like they're extremely difficult or virtually impossible. And I've had the privilege of doing it and building quite a track record over those 3 decades. But what's really great about this program is it isn't just me. I'm going to bring you the most comprehensive group of experts, partners of mine, dear friends, teachers, associates, the people that over those 3 decades I've seen produce the biggest changes in businesses, grow businesses that were static or falling apart, or take businesses that were successful and boost them to a whole nother level. And you're going to get a chance to chunk it all down, to break it down into some bite-sized chunks where you start to take in these strategies, not just learn them, but implement them a step at a time in your business and really see those measurable results. Now, how can I make those promises? Well, for 30 years of my life, I've been obsessed by a question. And that question is, what makes the difference in the quality of people's lives? Why is it some people in business or even in life seem to have every advantage? Everything's been given to them. The right timing, the right market, the right technology, the right insight. Or just an average person. Did you ever notice how sometimes the people that were given everything, they were given love, support, education, money, very oftentimes those are the people that spend their life going in and out of rehab. And then you see people that seem to have everything against them. You know, they didn't have the money, they didn't have the education, they didn't have the background, but something inside of them was so hungry that they were driven to find the answers. They were driven to find a way to add value to other people's lives, and they found a way to thrive, to succeed, to achieve, to contribute on a significant scale. What is that difference that makes the difference? For these 3 decades, that's what I've been obsessed by, and I've had a pretty large laboratory. I've gotten to work with these 3.5 million people from 100 different countries, so I've gotten to see what works, and frankly, at this point in my life, I could be an idiot, and I'd have to say there are certain patterns that cause people to succeed in business and in life, and there are patterns that make people fail. There's patterns that psychologically and emotionally make us not use our ability, make us get frustrated or angry or overwhelmed or uncertain or scared or fearful, and freeze up and not use that ability, that talent, that skill. And there are other patterns that will get you to own yourself, get you to be able to influence your own team, get you to influence customers. What I found over that time period is that 80% of success in life, whether it be in sports, business, finance, I've worked in all those areas. From the Andre Agassi's of the world to, the ultimate fighting champions, like Chuck Liddell. I've worked with people at every stage over the last 20 years, and I've helped them produce results like that. One of my clients has been the President of the United States, a couple of them. I've had the ability to work with some of the top business leaders. I get the call when things start burning down very often, when people want to go to the next level, or when the child is suicidal or the adult and I got to do something. Or in the 30 years, I've never lost one suicide, by the way. It's one of the things I'm most proud of in my life. Because once you understand what drives people, you can know how to change them. And I tell you that even though you're in business, because if you're in business, the business you're in is people. The more you can understand about the psychology of yourself and other people, the more you can master sales, management, marketing, and business. Even the ability to innovate comes from understanding what people need, not just what they say they want. So over that time period, I've been able to do those turnarounds. I get the phone call, true story, from the President of the United States when he says, I'm going to be impeached tomorrow, President Clinton. And what do I do? And my first response is, could you have called me sooner? And so I've been able to produce results in a short period of time with all kinds of different people. And the tools I've learned is, again, 80% of what changes somebody is making that psychological change. 20% is knowing the mechanics. Now, don't get me wrong. I work with one of the top financial traders in the world. This is a man who's been my client now for 18 years. He's a man who in 1987, when the stock market had its biggest single crash percentage-wise in a day, even based on today, that day when everyone was freaked out, he made $500 million that day. Now, you can't live on that, but it's a good start, right? And then he lost money for the next 2 or 3 years. Here's a guy who knew what to do. I was hired to come in and turn him around. He's made money every single year for 18 years because of me modeling the strategies of what to do. I didn't model just what to do. I also figured out what was keeping him from following through. This program is going to give you both the philosophy, which most people don't want, but philosophy is what controls the way you think and feel and gets you to do stuff. So many people know what to do. Like, oh, I know that, but they're not doing it. They don't do what they know. We're going to change that in this program. But also, this program is filled with strategies, with tools, with actual step-by-step pieces. Here's how you double your sales, and we've done it with company after company and proven it. Here's the track record. Here's the companies. In this program, you'll see companies that had explosive growth, that started zero and now are $1 billion in sales. And they'll tell you, I'll interview the CEO, he'll tell you how applying what we're showing you in this program exploded their sales, in some cases 1,500, 1,600% in a matter of literally a few weeks. How do you get the appointment? How do you manage your time? How do you hire the right salespeople? How do you really go out and make those technical changes, those mechanical changes that matter, but also the psychological ones as well? Do I have your interest? Good. Then let me also tell you that I'm not some superhuman guy that hasn't screwed up and hasn't learned a lot from all of his problems and pain. One of my biggest lessons in life early on was to realize that success leaves clues, that I could compress decades into days if I could learn more from other people's experience than just my own. But I also realized you got to apply what you learn and prove that it really works. It's great if you can help other companies succeed, but I'm personally an entrepreneur. So if you're a business leader, a manager, or an entrepreneur, I can relate to you. I've been in all those positions in a variety of industries. While you may know me as, the turnaround expert or the peak performance coach, I certainly built the largest brand in the industry I started in. But I'm an entrepreneur. I've built these companies in hospitality. We have Fiji, we have a place called Namali Resort and Spa, the #1 resort and spa in the country there. We built it literally from scratch, from 3 little boroughs, and built it into 525 acres and 3 miles of ocean frontage. And I did all the innovation and the design and the creation and the marketing. I've been a part of all those things that I'm passionate about. I'm passionate about things that change people's lives, whether it's going to a hotel or whether it's nutraceuticals. If you know Twin Labs or Metabolife, I took those companies out of bankruptcy and turned them around and started creating new jobs and opportunities and how to get those products back out to the marketplace and help people to make their bodies better. So whether it be in medical coaching or whether it be in the hospitality business or whether it be in any type of industry where I thought I could make a difference, I've entered those industries, I've applied the principles, and they've made a difference. But I've also had, just like you had, I've gone through recessions. I've gone through the good times and the challenging times, those different economies. And I've had to figure, I've been on the edge where it's like, oh my God, how are you going to hold it together? Am I going to be bankrupt because things change so quick and we didn't anticipate it? So I'm seasoned not as some guy with ideas and principles. I'm seasoned as a guy that's lived it and worked with millions of people. And I tell you that just so you know why I'm qualified to introduce to you not only my content, but how I was able to assemble all these incredible people that you're going to have an opportunity to learn from. So why did I create this program? Because I wanted to maximize sales. I want to maximize management. I want to maximize marketing. That's what makes a business go. I mean, think about it. Ultimately, the only way you succeed in business is add more value for other people than anybody else is adding. Peter Drucker once said, business is only 2 things. It's really innovation and marketing. And you'll hear me say that again and again because everything else, the accounting, everything else supports those 2 things. Ultimately, innovation is constantly finding a way to add more value for our customers. Never getting caught up thinking, oh, we've got our customers locked, we've added the value. It's like, how can I drive them more crazy? How can I add more value to them? How can I find something they need and want that they don't even know they need and want and deliver it for them? the companies like Google, the companies like Zappos, the companies that have found a way, the Amazons, to constantly innovate, those people have also had to figure out how to market. You can have the best ideas or product in the world, but if you can't market it, if you can't sell it, and if you can't manage it, you got a real problem. So innovation and marketing is it. And I thought, gosh, in all my companies, I come and I preach these things. I go out to the world and I teach companies, but I come back to my own companies and I'm always referring it, reminding them, stepping in. And plus I have all these friends and I bring them in at different times, but then you have new people join your company. And it's almost like starting over. As if a company's growing, you bring on new people and you got to start over. So I said, wouldn't it be incredible to have one system that was really about the core of all business, that really was going to give you that advantage in selling and marketing and innovating and managing it all? You know, what if I could do that, bring my friends together and put it into a form that people could go through, not just one time, but something we could use again and again in our business for decades to come, where the principles and the tools were literally timeless because they've been proven in any economy. During the tough times, the recessions, and during the great times when everything was just expanding. What are those ongoing principles that have worked, that I've used to turn businesses around, turn myself around, turn people around? Wouldn't it be incredible to create that? That's how this thing really got started. And I thought, you know, how many people have had the privilege of being able to sit down with somebody like Tony Hsieh at Zappos, spend the day, get to know him, and walk around and really see how a company goes from nothing, a couple of guys, you know, in a rented spot up in San Francisco, to $1 billion in less than 10 years. And to go in Zappos, if you've ever been there and see this culture where people are so excited to come to work. When the economy's worried out, they're not worried at all. And what are they selling? Shoes. You know, a bit more than that, but it started out just as shoes. But they got the real idea. Innovate. Meet customers' needs. Find a way to add more value. And if you do that and market it well, you start to dominate. So I'm also going to take you into small businesses, because I don't know where you are in your journey. I don't know if you're an army of one and you're just getting started, and you know, you're a chiropractor, you're a dentist, you're somebody who does creative arts or advertising or whatever the case may be, selling real estate, or whether you're a good-sized business that's maybe jumped up to that 10 or 20 or 50 or $100 million, or if you're $1 billion. Here's what I know. Wherever you are, this program's going to make a difference if you commit to it. If there's ever been a time that businesses need to know what to do to take advantage of this, it's now. And a lot of businesses have this misconceived notion that, oh, you can't grow really during a down time. And what you'll find as you go through this program is some of the biggest companies in the world, the companies that you'll recognize the name of immediately, I'll save that for our first session, all started during deep, deep recessions, down economic times. That's what gave them their benefit. That's what gave them their lead. Other companies have been around. If they didn't get fearful and they did the right things, they jumped. I really believe that success without fulfillment is failure. If you just succeed and you don't enjoy yourself, you know, what's it for? So I said to you, this could be a journey that you'll never forget. It'll only be that journey if you get started. So let's not wait any further. Let's get started right now. Live strong, live with passion, and God bless.